Hey guys, I'm Daisho, and I am here bringing you a commentary over a gameplay of Magic. And before I get started, I just want to say thank you to the following people for reading my article: John Cleese 111, at A Hill Will 4L, Jeezy Creasy 133Z, and my name Mud. Anyway, if you don't know what that's about, then you didn't read the article that I put on my blog, but it's no big deal. Anyway, I just want to give a big thank you to those people. Anyway, my opponent is playing some 5-color monstrosity, so I didn't know what color to make the name, so I just made it white. I usually have fun with that. I don't know why. I enjoy it so much, but I randomly am just like, yeah, see how clever I am? See, I have a blue life with a black shadow, so it's blue-black. Yeah, there you go. But I have no way to indicate 5 colors. I have no way to indicate 3 colors, so I don't know. Anyway. My deck just did not work out this game. I ended up just casting a Last Thoughts here. I have 2 of them in hand, and I just wanted to cycle through some more cards, maybe get some more lands so that I can actually cast all my spells and stuff. But yeah, it's not really looking too good right here. I mean, he cast Sunhome Guildmage into Scab Clan Charger, so I'm going to need something pretty gigantic if I want to actually come back and win this one. And then he's going to play a Guardian of the Gateless here, and I'm just like, oh god, this is bad. So this turn is actually pretty good for me, though. Now that I actually am set up and I can play a Death Cult Rogue and then Hands of Binding his Guardian of the Gateless, then I can tap it down in the future as well. So I mean, that's pretty good, but I still have a ways to go yet if I want to come back. He hasn't hit all his colors. I mean, he's still missing black and blue, so I mean, I guess that puts me in a decent position, but he's got a mugging for my Death Cult Rogue, and you're going to notice that is a commonality throughout this video, that my opponent has a mugging for, I guess it's not always my Death Cult Rogue, but in this case it is. Anyway, he's going to play Zertos Wine, and that's going to be it for me. I mean, there's no way I can actually come back from this. I don't know if I'm actually dead next turn. Yeah, I think I actually am, because he can just pump with his Sunhome Guildmage, so maybe I had something in my hand to stop me from being dead, but I was definitely not going to win. I was going to be like, chump block, go to 1, or something like that. Anyway, I'm going to lead off with a Basilica Screecher, so that's a lot better. I think I lost the last game because I really had no mana curve, and nothing happened the first many turns of the game. And if I had been playing 2-drop into 3-drop into 4-drop, then it would have been a competitive game. Anyway, he's going to have a mugging from my Basilica Screecher, so there goes any fantasies of actually having a mana curve, especially since I have no 3-drop and 4-drop. So, I mean, I guess that goes to show you why I was so upset about my deck at the beginning of the match. It just has no curve to it. I mean, I don't know, maybe the curve wasn't that bad, but there's just a lot of spells that you need to play situationally. There's a lot of Cypher cards that you need to have creatures out, and then if he just kills your creatures early, then you can't cast them. Anyway, I think I made a mistake here by playing the Horror of the Dim. I could have waited one more turn and then played it and left up Hexproof, and I didn't really need it on the battlefield right here, so I think that might have been a mistake. Either way, he's not too keen. I mean, he doesn't really need to kill the Horror of the Dim. It doesn't do much on its own, so he has no real motivation to kill it. Anyway, I'm just going to Last Thoughts, and then I'll be able to attack in there. Or, I don't want to attack. I don't want to trade my dude with Last Thoughts. I'm not really sure why I did that. I think I just wanted something to do. All I had in hand was an Agoraphobia and a Call the Nightwing. So the reason why I'm not attacking here is not because I don't want to make the trade. It's because I don't want to make the trade, and I think I can get in next turn. I don't want to play my Agoraphobia because I know he's got some removal in his deck. And I also want to leave up this Spell Rupture, and it was a really good thing too, because he's going to play a Holy Mantle, and that just would absolutely destroy me, so I'm going to be able to Spell Rupture that. And I think he's just going to attack in there. Nope, he's just going to leave it back, sorry. Wrong turn. So, anyway, I'm going to just now cast my Agoraphobia, and that will definitely allow me to attack in there. He could just block and then just trade my Agoraphobia, and then I wouldn't get to draw the card off of the Horror of the Dim. But he decides to not do that. I have a choice here whether or not I want to call the Nightwing and Cypher onto my Horror of the Dim. but I decided to just draw my card first. I lost one token out of it, but I probably would put the cipher card on my death call, or on my flyer anyway. But the card that I draw ends up being Death Cult Rogue, and that's gonna tap me down to only 2 mana, which is fine for Horror of the Dim because he's not gonna get killed or anything. But my opponent's just gonna Angelic Edict the Agoraphobia, and it's gonna be a little bit troublesome for me. I mean, he's gonna have this gigantic creature again, which has been destroying me the past. Or no, it didn't do anything yet. Never mind. That was a spoiler. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, he's gonna hit me for 6. Now I'm going to be able to cast my Call of the Nightwing Cipher onto my Death Cult Rogue, and that's pretty sweet. It's unblockable against his deck, pretty much. I don't think he has anything that can actually stop it. And it's just a constant source of 1/1s, and then I also get to draw a card, so you get to see the power of my deck. I mean, when it works well, I get to hit him for 5 and draw a card and make a 1/1, and it's a pretty happy days. Unfortunately, I draw the Thrill Parasite after. It would have been sweet if I could have played that and extorted off of it, but no complaints here. I mean, all in all, getting 2 flyers, drawing a card, dealing 5 damage, seems like a pretty good turn. Anyway, my opponent is going to be a little sneaky here, and he's playing a Verdant Haven first main phase randomly, and then as an afterthought, he's just going to attack here. And I am actually just going to chump block, and you might think, Daisho, what the hell are you doing? You're at 14. You don't need to chump block here. And the reason why I chump blocked is because I'm just dead to Zertos Wine if he has it, and he really was not expecting that to happen. So he's just like, yeah, alright, whatever. And then he's going to cast the Zertos Wine, so I would have just lost on the spot if I hadn't chump blocked there, which is probably something that a lot of people wouldn't have done. I don't know. I thought it was a pretty good play, and I was pretty happy with it, but that does mean that my Horror of the Dim can't attack here. I can still get in with my Death Cult Rogue and my flyer, so I'm just going to do that. I'm just going to do the extort right now off of the cipher, so that'll put me up to 15 and him down to 10, and it's looking pretty good for me. I just need to have my Death Cult Rogue live a couple more turns, and he's going to die. He can't really attack with his Wrecking Ogre, because now I can just block with my Horror of the Dim, and I'm fine with that trade. Just because, that thing is gigantic and I actually need to deal with it. I can't just chump block it every turn. I can chump block one thing every turn, but I can't chump block the Death Cult Rogue and the Zertos Wine. So, he's just going to play an Angelic Edict on my Death Cult Rogue, and that's going to be troublesome, because that was my main source of victory. That was going to do 3 damage a turn and give me a constant source of chump blockers. So, killing that was not very good for me. If he attacks, then I could just double block his Zertos Wine with my Horror of the Dim and a Horror, but I think I would just rather just trade the Wrecking Ogre. I don't know why I said that. That was dumb. Anyway, I've got a Beckon Apparition in hand, so I can kind of use that as 2 points of burn to his face. So he's just going to attack with the Wrecking Ogre here. I bet he figured if he attacks with both and I just take it, then he might be dead on my next turn. But instead he's just going to attack with that, and I'm just going to block. And you can see my exile zone is getting a little big. So for some reason here I decide not to play the Beckon Apparition. It was really stupid. I kind of want to use it as a trick to get the last few points of damage in, and it sort of works out. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, I'm going to play Metropolis Sprite here with Extort, take him down to 7, and I still have my Beckon Apparition and some Extortion abilities for the end of his turn, and he's going to hit me for 5 here, and I'm just going to take it this time. I think I'll be able to win on my next turn, and then he's going to play a Guardian of the Gateless. Actually, just the worst card I could see, because I'm sitting here with a bunch of little 1/1 flyers, and Guardian of the Gateless does some work against 1/1 flyers. I decide to again keep the Beckon Apparition in hand, but here I have a pretty fortunate draw. I'm going to play a Hands of Binding on his Guardian of the Gateless, extort him, then hit him with all my creatures, and I think I just screwed up a little bit on the math here. So after pumping my Metropolis Sprite, that's 5, taking him down to 1, and all I had to do was extort the was Extort the Hands of Binding spell. So, and I just don't know what happened. I don't know why he didn't just die earlier. But anyway, I cast a Beckon Apparition and Extorted or something stupid like that. I think I just messed up the math and I put him to -1 instead of 1. Whatever, doesn't matter. I think I thought I did Extort, but then I only dealt 4 damage. I really have no clue. Either way, maybe I'm just counting it wrong now. Who knows? So anyway, I'm going to play a Basilica Screecher on 2 again, so that's a really good start for me, and he's going to play his Mugging again. I don't know how many of those he had in his deck. Maybe he had like 17 Muggings or something like that. But anyway, that was really important for me. I kept a pretty loose hand. I think I had 5 lands and 2 spells, or maybe it was 4 lands and 2 spells. Let's see, he must have been on the play. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6, 9, 10. Yeah, I must have had 7 cards, so I must have kept a 5-lander. And then, while I do miss my 3-drop, I am able to play a Death Cult Rogue on turn 4. So not the end of the world. I mean, Death Cult Rogue is super important for me in this matchup, and really any matchup, because it's just a really powerful creature, and it can hold all my Cypher things pretty well, and my opponent doesn't really have anything in his deck that can block it. He does have some removal, but hopefully my sideboard choices will help a little bit with that. I think so far I've seen 2 Angelic Edicts and a Mugging, maybe something else, I'm not sure. But anyway, he is going to play a Scab Clan Charger, and here you're going to see me make an interesting play. Obviously, I'm going to attack. That's not the interesting part. But I've got my Horror of the Dim, and I guess I alluded to it a little bit earlier in the game. But I've got my Horror of the Dim, and I'm just going to hold it here because I really don't want to just have it die immediately. I also get the added bonus of keeping up Spell Rupture. He's played a lot of really powerful 5-drops against me, so if he has one of those here, then I'm good, because I can just Spell Rupture it. But he just has a Sunhome Guildmage instead, and that's really bad for me. So I do get to continue to beat in, and now I can play my Horror of the Dim and leave Hexproof open, so there's really not much he can do about it. I mean, there's no way that, I mean, the only way he would be able to, like, kill it is if he has an Angelic, or I don't even know. He definitely can't kill it anytime soon. I guess he could attack with everything and then Blood Rush or something like that. Or you could play another red and another white source. I don't know. Anyway, he's just going to drop an Elusive Krasis here, which is really bad for me. I need to deal with that thing. It's just going to kill me, and I'm already down to 14 because I took some damage early. So anyway, I draw Dimir Charm here, and that's a pretty good draw. I mean, the modes destroy target creature with power 2 or less, and counter target sorcery are pretty relevant here, because I know he's got a handful. Well, I don't know he has Angelic Edicts in his hand, but I assume he does. And I'm just going to attack in for 2 and then leave my Horror of the Dim back. And I'm going to decide to cast my Dimir Charm on the Sunhome Guildmage. And, actually, it was important right there that he was just tanking for a little while and trying to figure out what to do there. But anyway, I'm going to cast my Dimir Charm on his Sunhome Guildmage. And the thing about this is, it went through my mind that he had an activation of Sunhome Guildmage up because he could untap his gate with his Greenside Watcher, and then I figured, well, he can't make a creature or something in response, so it's good to do it now or something like that. But instead, he just pumps his creatures, and since it's no longer 2 power or less, he just cancels my Dimir Charm, counters my Dimir Charm. So that was just a really bad play. Obviously, I misread the board and completely forgot that that card did that. So that was just bad for me. Anyway, he's going to play a Guardian of the Gateless, and that's just such a bad card for me to play against. It's not a bad card. I mean, it's just a good card for him to have against me. So I'm just going to Spell Rupture it. Really good that I have Spell Rupture in the deck. It's such a sweet card. And I think I'm going to play it more often. I mean, it did so much work in this matchup. Just every time he taps out for a 5-drop, I have the opportunity to kill it immediately. So, I don't know, it's pretty good. But anyway, that Dimir Charm, you're going to see it was super relevant. And just losing it was so bad. And anyway, I thought my hand was just stacked with counters since I had that Dimir Charm. And I have a Scatter Arc as well as the stupid, what's it called? The Dimir Charm and the Spell Rupture. I don't remember which one I didn't say. But anyway, I'm going to Hands of Binding, and in response, he's going to untap his Simic Guildgate and cast a Rapid Hybridization. So that's what would have happened if I had if I had just killed the Krasis instead with my Dimir Charm. So I think that's probably what I would have done, and it wouldn't have been that bad. Like, I could have Scatter Arced it again, his Rapid Hybridization. I'm not sure if I would have done that, but a 3/3 on this board is really powerful since he can actually just get through my my Horror of the Dim. But I wonder what would have happened if I had just played those two spells. Actually, I know exactly what would have happened. If I would have Dimir Charm, then I would have Scatter Arced, and then maybe I wouldn't have Scatter Arced. Maybe I would have just been okay with him losing it. I'm not really sure, but either way, I mean, there's definitely a better path I could have taken than just losing right there. But he's going to tap out here for an Angelic Edict, and all I have up is blue-black, and it kind of seems like, man, if I hadn't just discarded that Dimir Charm a couple of turns ago, I could have actually countered this. But in reality, it's probably not what would have happened, and it probably doesn't follow a logical set of paths for me to have Dimir Charm open at this point in the game, even if I didn't just discard it a couple of turns ago. I probably would have cast it anyway, and I just would have cast it on a more relevant target. But anyway, getting rid of that Death Cult Rogue with Hands of Binding is basically going to be the most important thing for this game. I mean, he's so far ahead right now that there's really just not much I can do to come back here. I need something really impressive. I basically need like a big rare or something. I don't know. I don't even know what cards. Maybe like a... Yeah, it would be awesome if I had a... what's the blue primordial? Man, why can't I think of this? The blue primordial. Man, this is killing me. I'm actually just going to look this up right now because I don't know why I can't figure it out. It's Diluvian primordial. I don't even need to look it up. See, I know my stuff. I'm not just some idiot who's talking about Magic videos. I remember the names of cards. Anyway, a Diluvian Primordial would have been sick. So he attacked in with a Sunhome Guildmage, and I mean, I'm just going to Snap Block with my Metropolis Sprite. I know that he's got to have some trick here, but I really just can't afford to not let that opportunity go by. I'm not sure. I think that the reason why he left the Greenside Watcher back is so that he could double pump. Yeah. Anyway, he's just getting Arrows of Justice, my Metropolis Sprite, and that's a fine trade for me. I mean, I'm happy to trade Arrows of Justice, or my Metropolis Sprite for a removal spell in his hand. It's not one which could have hit Horror of the Dim, but anyway, Horror of the Dim is just doing his job. He's been holding down the fort for like 2 games now, and that guy was just such a bro to me. I really didn't expect it. I mean, a 3/4 for 5 mana is just bad, but against a deck that has a lot of 2-power guys and is a lot of removal, it's pretty good. I mean, it really just did the job. Anyway, I'm going to cast an Agoraphobia. Oh no, I'm going to cast Duskmantle Guildmage. I forgot that I drew that off of the Last Thoughts. Nope, I am going to cast the Agoraphobia. I lied. Okay, so I could have cast both, but again, I don't want to leave my Horror of the Dim up, so that would have been bad. So he's just going to make a dude. And I think I put the Agoraphobia in the wrong place. I've been wanting to switch it over, like, for the next 4 turns after this to the Elusive Krasis. I should have seen that he would be able to give it power this turn. Plus, I mean, just the fact that he can pump it in general makes it really good. Anyway, I'm not sure how I would have played this if I were him, but he does have a way to pretty easily set up a kill within the next 2 turns, since I know for a fact that he drew Wrecking Ogre last turn. So what he could do is just attack in... Oh, no, that doesn't work. Yeah, well, he can attack him with a whole bunch of things and then cast the Wrecking Ogre. Or not cast the Wrecking Ogre, Blood Rush the Wrecking Ogre on the Elusive Krasis after, like, attacking Pump or something like that. Like, if he attacks with Greenside Watcher, Elusive Krasis... Oh, no, he can't attack with Greenside Watcher. I don't know. Maybe I'm not thinking about this the right way. But I was trying to figure out a scenario where just blood rushing the Wrecking Ogre onto the Elusive Krasis would win. Again, maybe that's not great, because that just means that he's super dead if I have like a Grizzly Spectacle. He's not super dead, but he gets 2 for 1 for no reason when he can just play it out like this, and it looks a little bit safer here. I mean, I am just so far behind. He can attack with everything, and he has a couple of pumps open with that green side watcher. Maybe my opponent wasn't even playing 5 color. Maybe he's just playing 4 color, because I don't remember seeing any black spells at all. So I could be wrong. I think actually that was the case. He's just running 4 color here. I mean, he's only in 4 colors. That's definitely nowhere near enough. He should have at least been playing 5. Come on, man, be considerate. Seriously, bro. But yeah, I mean, I guess would the Scamp Clan Charger still be attacking? Would it have attacked last turn, me down to 10? Yeah, probably. I think it would have. But yeah, and he would have had no reason to play Wrecking Ogre first main. And maybe I would have blocked with the Horror of the Dim, but then no, I would have lost it in combat. That would have been bad. So yeah, I ended up just double blocking the Wrecking Ogre here, and that'll just basically ensure, because unfortunately I can't block with the Corpse Blockade and just like sacrifice something, because then he'll just pump and kill it in first strike. So I need to block with both, and double blocking things with first strike is fine. Double blocking things with double strike is just a sad day, because he's just going to be able to pump and kill both of them. I mean, I do trade, but it's like a two for one, really. And poor Horror of the Dim finally goes down. He's just been sitting out there for the entire game, and he really just did his job way better than I expected it to be. Because you don't expect the 5-mana 3/4 to be the best card in your deck, but that's what it ended up being for me. So first strike combat damage, kill that. Don't need to sacrifice anything. I don't think it really mattered. Or actually, I think he did it. Alright, so what would have happened if he had done it the other way? Then the Horror of the Dim would have died in first strike. And then I think I would have had to sacrifice my Dust Mantle Guildmage if I wanted to kill this thing. So that was weird. Anyway, I'm just going to be super techie here and activate my Dust Mantle Guildmage. So before his Wrecking Ogre dies, he's gonna take a damage, or once it goes to the graveyard. So yeah, take that, sir. So I'm gonna go down to 6 because I'm gonna take 4 from the Elusive Crisis, and I'm gonna get to deal him 1 here. So I need more than the amount of cards that I have, or more than the amount of mana that I have. Let's see. To kill somebody with a Dust Mantle Guildmage, you have to. If you triple activate? No, that would still only be 6th life. So I would need to activate, I guess, 4 times and like he play a card or something like that. And I have to mill him. I don't know. It just doesn't seem likely. The best way to do it would be if he had like a high power creature and I can just Grizzly Spectacle it and mill him. Or activate the ability, or if I could activate the ability twice and Grizzly Spectacle him, or play a Balustrade Spy and activate the ability twice, or something like that. But I'm just so far behind that this game's going to be over. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Unfortunately, I went 1-2 in this draft, but that does happen, and this was a particularly bad draft of mine. Nothing really formed and nothing ever really worked out. I couldn't get my curve down, and it just seemed pretty bad. But he's just going to cast a Homing Lightning here, and that's going to be the game. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and have a wonderful day. Bye.